Well, hello there, and welcome back to the lands of Aecathan. No professionals, no fancy tech, just a group of women playing an all-original game of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Jeff, your game master, and here's what happened last time. Oh, so much. The four, Athgarr and Bo, managed to escape the Enclave and flooded the entire cavern system by tunneling to the Eastern Sea. As the caverns filled, the effectiveness of the ploy was in question, with questions like, can the Thuilnu drown? What effect will the salt water have on the various horrors the Thuilnu have created? Regrouping back on the surface, the speaker of the Council of Ballinamard was apprised of what had happened beneath the city, and at that point, attempts were made to scry into the complex to see what had happened, with limited success. Ultimately, the group had to return to the Shaman's Tower and the entrance to the Enclave, where Gwen, preparing herself with various spells, dove into the dark waters to see for herself the effect the salt water was having on the Thuilnu. There, she discovered that it appeared to be dissolving whatever connected the pieces that made up the various horrors. There were floating sort of groups of pieces. But the Thuilnu themselves were floating on top of the water as it continued to rise toward the ceiling of the caverns, and they were still awake. With that information, Gwen returned to the rest of the four who were near the entrance to the caverns, and that's where we pick up tonight.
I wrote down in my notes, trying to remember what sunlight does to these. Do we remember what sunlight does to these?
Make an intelligence check, Zorith.
Okay.
Not my bad.
But no, horrible. 15 plus intelligence. Intelligence, that's just a straight +2, right?
Okay, yep.
So 17.
You don't know what it does to the horrors, or to the Thuilnu themselves. No one's ever seen a Thuilnu in the sunlight. But the horrors, it dissolves.
The sunlight dissolves the
Yes.
horrors?
The sage in Airmoss said that it must have happened in less than an hour.
What must have happened in less than an hour?
He had the body of a horror, and the sun changed, and he came back, and it was just a pile of dust.
Oh.
It ended up being in the sun as the sun shifted and came in through the window.
When we, Aribell, and myself did it down in the sewers, it was darkish.
Correct.
So
it was sewers. There was nothing but torchlight and whatever light you brought down with you.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
I did want to mention one other thing that I thought of in terms of sort of metagaming. You can at any time say, okay, we're just going to wait a day, or okay, we're just going to wait 3 days, and we can move ahead, understanding that you would just, rest and do whatever. So you're welcome to play out the entirety, but you're also welcome to say, yeah, we're going to skip to the next day, and that's fine.
Right.
So we're just waiting for the water to fill, right?
Yes.
Well, I think it would make sense, since we suspect that they don't function well in daylight, to at least have some kind of a sentry or guard posted at the opening of the cavern at sundown, so that if any of them do bubble up, we can be ready
Right.
before they start wandering the town.
Right. So kind of every night if we do. Makes sense. What? Because hold on.
How
Could
did
we-
they get down there, I guess? Like,
we
is there
were
some
unsure if if there's like another exit somewhere. But
Well, we should know if there's another exit because it would start looking kind of swampy right about now.
right. Yeah.
Unless it
Deep
was
in
an
the
exit that they had sealed.
Right.
True.
Or something.
We could just set up the hut near the cavern entrance.
Tiny
Well,
hut?
You are. You would have to do that up on the first floor of the shaman's lodge.
Yeah.
There really isn't room anywhere else.
Or the mansion.
But with the hut, you could continue to see out.
Right, that was my thought.
Question. We need to talk with the town people about what, I mean, we talked to them saying we are doing our job to try to make sure that nobody comes up. In the meantime, they're having to sequester themselves and the town, or from the town, with the town not know what's going on. And also, how are we going to, help the town? Like, we haven't talked about like any of that, have we?
Mm-mm.
Especially the orcs.
Yeah, right. So we also kind of need to meet back with them and
I think we talked about not trying to remove the stuff from the orcs, right? The
Right.
brainwashing.
yes, we did talk about that, but then it's also kind of like, now what do we do with the town?
On the other hand, do we know if there's anything else the orcs were instructed to do, such as report to the Thuilnu?
Right, and that is kind of the thing, is if the main people are sequestered for so long, is anybody going to come around and be like,
Hey, what's wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they're guarding the town, they must have gotten orders to do so from someone.
Right.
Even if it was just a one-time message.
And also, will it change now that we have watered up the works?
These are all excellent questions
Yeah,
to which we
sorry.
have
Zero
no
answers.
answers.
Right.
Okay.
I think our first... I think we have to try to kill the rest of the Thuilnu, right? I mean,
Right.
we're not done until they're dead. It's a bug hunt.
Kill them with fire.
Well, it's hard to kill them with fire when they're in the water.
Indeed it is.
That does make it a bit difficult, yes.
Maybe we talked about maybe electricity, but we don't know what's going to happen when they're like, they don't seem to appear to be able to swim. Right? They're just sitting there.
They're just sort of bobbing.
They're just floating.
Floaters.
I have to wonder what happens when the water gets to the ceiling.
Exactly. We just wait and see what happens when it gets there.
If they're gonna be kissing rock, I'd like to see that.
Indeed.
Okay, so I wrote rest of town, orcs, ? Dead Thuilnu, ? Electricity, speak with council, ? There was one other thing I thought I said, but
Tasha,
Yes.
you would recall that when you spoke to Fen, he did say that they had started asking questions, why are some of the council sequestered in the council house, and he told them that, or he told you that he had said they were deep in planning a contingency in case there was another dragon attack.
Oh, all right. Well, that's a good answer. But that can only go on for so long.
Keen mind
so
to the rescue.
So I tell everybody that, what I remember.
What time of day is it now?
This is probably mid-morning. Probably 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning.
So we have a few hours before sunset.
Yeah, probably about 7-ish.
So do you want to try to do something in that time, or shall we just wait for the sun to set?
You also recall that Fen is currently hiding out in the mansion.
Right, in our mansion.
Yes, in Athgar's mansion.
In fancy mansion.
We should probably go check on him,
Yeah.
have a meal, clean up. I've been in the brackish water under the
So gross.
city.
Yes.
You
So-
smell.
Filled with floating pieces of horror.
Yeah, I could definitely use a shower. In case there are any remaining chunks.
You smell.
Thanks.
I wasn't going to say anything.
All right. So check out Fen. Take showers. Eat something.
When
Meet
did we
with the full
last
council,
rest?
right?
Yeah, when did we last rest?
You got up about 8 o'clock and went back to the shaman's tower, and it's been about 3.5 hours. Three and a half
okay,
hours
okay.
since
So-
you rested. So
I figured it was all right.
Maybe I should go around after after we do the first stuff. Maybe I should just kind of like do a little recon around the town, see how people are holding up.
That
By
sounds good.
yourself?
Yeah.
well, maybe we should go in pairs.
All right.
And if you do, maybe we should do the mind. We've still got the mind thing up, right? Because of when Gwen went downstairs in the water.
Yes, let me look up how long it lasts. Gee, all I have to do is remember what the spell's called.
Mind
Telepathic
link?
bond.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Rory's
Maurice.
Raries?
Raries.
something.
There it is. Oh yeah, it's done. It lasts an hour.
Oh, I thought it was longer than that.
No, but Bo can cast it as a ritual.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Okay.
it takes, 11 minutes basically, and then you have it for an hour. So when
can
everybody
also-
gets ready to go,
I can also
Prestidigitation you, but I'm sure you're going to want to shower too.
Well, how about that for now, and then
Yep. Absolutely.
then we'll go
and I
for the real deal.
totally
We wouldn't
wave my
want
hand.
to offend Athgar's delicate sensibilities.
no, I wasn't going to mention it because I didn't want to embarrass you.
And yet you managed to mention it anyway.
It's my
I
fault.
see how it is.
It's my, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Athgarr.
That's what I get for swimming with the horrors.
Hey,
Well,
I
yes.
went down after you. I've been in that water too.
Oh, you both smell.
No, I prestidigitation myself.
Oh,
And yet you didn't offer.
man.
Just digging the hole deeper there, buddy.
Oh,
Silly.
I would love to take you up on that offer, Zori. It's so nice of you to think of me.
I just take care of it real quick there for you.
I'll meet you back at the mansion.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so we're just gonna split up, I guess, a bunch of us and walk around.
Well, how do you want to talk to Fen?
Yeah, I guess we should probably go back and...
Well, you have to go back because there was talk of showering anyway.
Right, no, I know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going back to the mansion.
So
for
yes,
sure.
we'll go back to the mansion, talk to Fen, get something to eat, get cleaned up,
Oh, that's right, I remember you said.
and then I and somebody else will walk about the town and do a little recon.
Right.
Lovely.
I can go with you, Tasha, if you'd like.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So we go back.
All right. You come in through the door. Let me go ahead and get the right graphic up. And very quickly, Fen comes in from the living room, having heard you. So, did it work?
The horrors are dead.
Those are the foot soldiers. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We've
The-
destroyed their army.
Excellent. And the generals?
Not sure yet.
Why are you not sure?
We don't know if they can breathe or not. So drowning them is a little difficult.
Oh, that's a terrifying thought. They don't
I agree.
breathe.
Right now they're just floating.
Ooh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They're not going to float out the hole you made into the ocean.
Well,
It's a good question.
they
don't know.
seem to be unable to swim. And was the hole at the lowest point or the highest point?
No, we put it at the highest point in the cavern that we cleaned out. We killed everything in that room.
Mm.
So
So they probably
seemed-
can't get there.
It seemed like they were mostly staying where they were in the room where they were, but we don't know for sure.
We're gonna have to go a couple nights and kind of hang out and see. I mean, it sort of was a last minute idea to drown them, but also when we realized the amount of things that we were up against, it was kind of, I don't want to say the only thought we had, but it was the only thought that seemed feasible at the time, so.
It seemed the best of the options that we had.
So we still have more Thuilnu to kill. But we'll figure it out.
What you did for the council and I, and Hosen's wife, you can do that for other people as well?
We can.
A few.
How many is a few?
Well, wait, how many people can do that spell? Just
A
you.
few per day. Athgarr and I can both cast it.
So 2 people among us have that spell, but they can only cast it 2 or 3 times a day.
I can actually cast it 10 times.
All right.
But then I will be next to useless in a combat situation until I've rested again. That would be enough. We will have to go back into the other mansion, but they will most likely, he will be recasting it shortly, so everyone will be out in the main room for a little bit. It strikes me that if Tern were to have one of her fishing crews freed, that we might be able to put them out to sea if we can figure out approximately where the hole is coming in and out, and have them watch.
Oh, that's a great idea.
He's very smart.
It also gets Tern out of my hair. There is a little bit of self-preservation involved in this as well.
So
it's the win-win situation.
How do we gather this group?
I would think Tern would go and retrieve the people that she would want and bring them back here and free their minds, and then she and the crew would go and get a boat and go out. But
we'll still have to talk to the rest of the council.
Yes.
You're going to have to go in the other mansion. I'm sorry.
Well, most likely the other mansion is about to go poof, and they will be in the council's house.
And then we can bring them in here.
No. I've already set the guest list.
We can't change it?
Yeah, no, we talked about setting the guest list for everybody when we got here. I'm 95% sure.
I did not specifically, because Fen was planning to use this as a refuge.
Oh.
That was after you cast it.
True. I did set it for everyone, we just didn't tell them.
Right.
Well, I'm very glad that none of them knew where the door was, or they would have tried it.
Okay.
Well, they're going to know now. I will be very glad when I can go home and actually just stay in my house.
I hear that.
So I'll go out the mansion, and once everybody poofs out, I'll bring them to where we are.
Okay.
And so I go outside and wait.
All right. Shortly thereafter, you see a door appear, and you see Hosen and Matrelda step out. You see Leld and Tern and Dor all exit, along with the alchemist.
Hi, everybody. We're kind of back.
You're alive.
Yes.
Oh, I look to who was that?
That was Hosen.
Ah.
The leader of the Bear Clan.
Yes, I am. Actually, we all are. And then I'm going to say, if you would follow me this way, you don't have to put your mansion up. We have another mansion that we've just put up a little bit ago, so that you may come in there with us, and I show them the door.
All right.
From one mansion to another.
They all come wandering in.
Everybody knows everybody. I don't have to make introductions, right?
Right.
So, things we need to talk about, I guess.
Leld looks around and says, "Where's the bard? I was so looking forward to seeing him again."
Oh.
He's occupied.
And just so we can clear the air, he's super not interested. Sorry.
Well, that's rude. I haven't even offered. Officially.
I know, but it looked like you were making him uncomfortable earlier, and I know how that goes. Like, I've been in that situation, so I just wanted to make sure that everybody kind of knew where everything was going on. Sorry. And I pat her on the shoulder.
She just kind of looks dejected. Tern.
Is Athgarr off showering? Is that...
Yeah.
Or... Okay. I assume Gwen is as well.
Yeah.
Okay, good. She's not part of this conversation. For the best.
And Tern just looks at her and says, "Well, you know, you can still go after that guardsman you've got your eye on. Not the same." "I know, but that'll keep you occupied for a little while." Speaking of keeping people occupied,
There's a segue.
Tern, these brave adventurers, we have come up with a plan. Well, I should bring you the current on what has happened. They have fought many of the Thuilnu and their creatures, and then contrived a plan to flood this underground complex. It has had the effect of destroying all of the creatures the Thuilnu have created, but we do not know yet if it will actually kill the Thuilnu, because apparently there is a chance that they don't breathe. We are still waiting to find out. But they did this by making a tunnel from one of the caverns out to the ocean. And I have a concern that there might be some that might escape through that tunnel once the caverns are filled. And so we need you to tell us, or to go collect a crew for your best fishing boat that you will bring back here. They will free their minds, and then you will take that crew, after they have a little time to recover, out on the boat once we figure out where the tunnel comes out, and you will keep watch, and if anything should float to the surface, dice it.
Hit it with the rock.
Also, if they have different powers, different ones do, and then I go to, if they are susceptible to fire, potentially electricity, the ones that we know of, and I explain, because there's some that render you unconscious, but you just need to, like, punch the person in the arm kind of thing, right? Just, if I remember correctly, to, like, clear their head.
Yes, hurting them will reawaken them.
Yes.
Oh, he's back.
Yes, and I see we've added people.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember right now. Hold on. If there's anything else.
What are we discussing?
We are discussing kind of the Thuilnu if they are encountered. Some of them can render you unconscious, and you just kind of have to punch them, right? But then also,
yes,
the other things I can't remember right now.
They don't seem susceptible at all to psychic damage.
But they can cause it.
Yes.
Question.
Yes.
I find here, question DM, Thuilnu can choose to die instead of being captured, but when killed, those under Thuilnu power were freed from mental effects. So now, if we've killed some down under, are there those up that possibly have been mind freed? Is that how that works? So like if you go in and you, like I go in and I do these 5 people and all of a sudden I die, are those 5 people rendered normal, or do they still have...
Don't know.
Why do I have it in my stupid notes then? Crap.
You can probably, at this point, assume that their abilities work similar to Modify Memory, and Modify Memory remains. Once it's there, it's there.
Okay.
So some of their effects might dissipate when they die, but others might stay because they're something that's just done and then it's done until it's undone.
Got it.
But the victims seem to, if they died and were brought back, seem to lose.
Well, what you know from the experiments at the tower is that, when they die, once they're brought back as they originally were, not as they were modified. But any physical modifications are still there. The physical modifications can only be removed by a forced shape change, or if the person has the ability to change shape.
Okay. Anything else I can remember about?
I mean, obviously you can be put under their thrall. Is there anything that we can do to prevent that from happening? Should one bubble up to the surface?
We can give them the protection, but it's not foolproof.
Right.
The Dream Sentinel, it's better than nothing.
Right.
Right.
Councilwoman Allrider, how many crew do you need? How long do you expect us to be out there for? A couple days. Probably myself and about 8 others.
Okay.
All right, so we need to deal with 8. Well, if you would go collect these 8 and bring them back, will see about doing this. All right, it might take a little bit because some of them might be out on boats right now. So I'd have to call them in. So it might take an hour or two.
Okay.
All right. Let's be going then.
Do we want to send somebody with her?
Everybody knows me. I'm fine. Are we still going with the dragon? Yes, that is... It seems to be working, and, tell people that, we're not taking any chances. We don't want to be taken by surprise again, and it is a very complicated plan. We're considering sending to Irma for additional help. That might alarm some of them, but at least it will give them something to talk about. Tern just nods and takes off.
And then we wait. I mean, we've kind of already talked about all the things. Really isn't anything else to keep everybody up to speed.
Right.
So
I guess we eat.
Yeah.
And rest up a bit, and then as evening approaches, we'll head to the area where the opening is.
Okay. It does take a couple hours, but Tern does come back with her crew, and one at a time, you remove the Thuilnu's influence, and they have varying reactions, some similar to those that you saw with the Council when you cured them. But Tern is there with them each time, and within a couple hours, everybody's been unenthralled and has recovered enough for Tern to take them. She lets you know that they'll sail out at first light, but they're going to spend most of the evening getting the ship ready for an extended time spent on the water. She also tells you that she located the opening on the outside, so she knows where to take the boat.
Oh, no. Is that good or bad?
She says she went swimming.
Wow.
Well, she's a ranger too, of no small ability. She said it took her a little bit to find it, but she found it, so she knows approximately where to anchor.
And there was no sign of anything coming out of the
No, there
opening
was
at that point?
Things were still rapidly going in.
Oh.
Ooh. That's still scary.
So still filling.
Still filling.
Perhaps it was larger of a cavern than we knew.
I mean, we kind of assumed.
Or there's an exit somewhere that we haven't found.
Right.
Maybe we should send someone out to scout for it.
I don't know.
I wonder if the orcs would be persuaded to look for water in their travels as they guard. I mean, might as well put them to good purpose.
There is no reason. I can go and speak to the guard captains and tell them to instruct the troops to keep their eyes out for flooding.
Right.
It will not be the first time we have asked them to watch for this. It's a different reason, but they don't know that.
Great. They'll cover more ground than we can.
That they will.
Right.
And Fen pops off to go talk to folks. And he's back before you head out for whatever you're going to do. Tasha and Aribell. I'm assuming during the afternoon is when you two wanted to go out and sort of just wander.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what is it that you're looking for? What are you doing?
I just want to observe the local folk and see if I see any signs of anything weird, really.
Make a perception check followed by an insight check.
Okay.
A 30 for perception. And 25 for insight.
Okay. Well, while Tasha's rolling, Aribell, you get the feeling that these folks have rarely, if ever, seen a paladin. Because some of them just stare, some of them gape a little bit. There are a few who figure it out, put it together, and they're like, "Wow, whoa, what are you doing in Ballinamard?"
Fall back on our story about the tavern keeper, right? Wasn't that what we were using before?
Mhm.
So same story.
Yep. Some of them are like, "Oh, I wondered why it was closed," and others were like, "Oh, that poor man. Well, I sure hope that you're able to help him. It's really nice that you came to do this." Mostly, it just you interpret it. These are the sorts of normal reactions you get from places that are kind of off the beaten path that you've been to before. Tasha, what did you get?
I got a 32 for perception and a 29 for insight.
Okay. Are you carrying your loot?
Yep.
Okay. You get a lot of attention too, although a little bit different from Aribell's.
Mm.
You know, people see the loot and immediately are like, Are you performing somewhere? We haven't had new music in a long time."
So I find a corner and I just start playing.
Okay. You gather a crowd very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Figured.
Go ahead and make me a performance check.
Okay. $19.
They're very happy with it, and when you finally decide you're done, you get several coins tossed at your feet. Looks like 4 gold pieces and 10 silver pieces. And several people come forward to say, how much they enjoyed it, how great it was, and to, please circulate where you might be playing next, because they would gladly come and hear you play again.
Okay.
And again, your insight check, they seem very interested in who you are. because you're obviously no one they've ever seen before. But apart from that, it's pretty much the same reception that you've gotten in other places. They're starved for entertainment. And very appreciative of what you offered.
All right. Do we see any orcs?
Yeah, there actually there was a contingent of the city guards that was made up of both humans, an elf, and 3 orcs.
That's so
that just kind of stopped to listen when you were playing, and seemed to enjoy it. The funnier songs, it was very strange to see the elf actually poking one of the orcs with her elbow and looking, and both of them laughing, and it was really weird.
That is messed up. All right, well, I guess I've seen what I can see. You want to go back?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be anything different. So
Okay, just thought I'd check. So we head back.
All right. Okay, so Tern and her crew are off getting ready to go out in the boat. It's now evening. Master Tube comes up to Zorith. So tell me, will you be wanting me to cast my mansion again tonight for the rest of them, and you will be staying in one of yours? Because Athgar's mansion has expired at this point, so...
Right.
Well, I can cast it. So yes.
So,
be in the hut, right?
Well,
What?
I can cast the hut and the mansion.
The hut will only do 10 people.
Right.
We're going down to the thing. Though.
We were gonna do well. Maybe we don't need the mansion then.
Well, they need to be protected still.
No.
I will cast the mansion for myself and the council.
It's okay. Hold on, just 1 second.
I have a new layout I want to try. And you notice that a couple of the people in the room just kind of go, "Ugh."
Why don't I give you a break and I will cast the mansion for you all, and then I will cast the hut for us so that we can stand guard for Thuilnu.
That would be very nice of you. I think that is very kind. We have been imposing on Master Tube for many days now. I don't mind. I have other things that I want to try.
I am happy to help and give you a break, at least for this evening.
But
Master Chu, perhaps while Tasha casts her mansion and your companions are in there, you can work on perfecting your layout so you can surprise them when you're done.
ooh, that is a very good idea. I like
You can
that.
have an unveiling once it's ready.
Oh. Yes, I like that very much. Thank you very much. And he runs off and starts casting, and Fen just kind of walks over and goes, "That was very nicely done, and thank you for not making us stay again." Oh.
Yes, at least one of us is diplomatic.
Just the one.
Just the one.
I
Just the one.
personally can't remember if it's practice that makes it better, or if it's like, can Tasha or Athgarr help him to like perfect any of the things?
It's the creation of the mansion itself is art.
Okay.
So it's literally, it's art and interior design. So it's a matter of the caster's taste and choice.
So now the biggest problem everybody had was because it was rats. Is that correct?
That was one of them. The other one, they were snakes. The other one, they were, it was basically filled with water and these penguins. It was very strange and very hard to sleep on these floating beds. It was awful.
How do you feel about
Have they been?
invisible servants?
It might be a little unnerving, but I think I could get used to it.
Has he been improving though? Like, have they been getting better?
Just weirder.
They're all very strange. He has a very odd perception of what is normal and comfortable.
Okay.
Normally I use birds.
Yes, we have stayed in your mansion before.
Oh, okay, so that's okay.
It was a little unnerving at first. Yes, and everybody else is kind of nodding, and Matrelda kind of shrinks into Hosen's arms, and he's like, "It's fine. They won't hurt you, I told you." Most of us have gotten used to it.
Okay. So I cast the mansion.
Okay.
As is. There should be enough rooms for everybody.
Okay.
How many bedrooms do we need?
Bunch.
Well, you have 9.
Yeah. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's...
Okay.
You have the 4 council members. Well, actually, you only have 3 of the council members because Tern is off. So you only really need 5, I think.
Okay, then we're good.
Yeah.
And
actually, really only 4 because Hosen and Matilda will likely sleep in the same room. So
right. Okay. So everyone can pick whatever room they like, and just ask the servants for whatever food you want and drinks, and then we'll bring it to you.
All right.
What time is it now?
It's probably close to sunset.
All right, so I will set up a meal for everyone.
Okay.
So I have them set out, roasted beast and gravy and mashed potatoes and some Tharnock and a bunch of roasted vegetables and a couple desserts.
Now I'm hungry. Stew.
I was just thinking that. Mashed potatoes for the win.
Yep.
And I have out a couple different small tankards of ale and a couple jugs of wine.
Okay.
And water. And cider.
All right. Well, they all tuck in appreciatively. Athgarr kind of leans over to you, Tasha. I wonder what Master Tube fed them.
I don't know, but I don't think it was like this.
Might want to... Tube's not back yet from his place, is he?
No, he cast his and went in.
Right. So somebody might want to...
I'll go knock. And tell him that dinner is ready.
Well, I have dinner too. So I think I will just eat here while I am working.
All right.
But
Just so you
thank
know.
you.
You're welcome.
What's he eating?
Yeah, what is
Yeah.
I can't see.
What you see behind him is a room filled with dirt.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I go back
Okay.
and I get something to eat and did they gather the group for the ship?
We already did that.
Yeah, Tern
Okay.
is off gathering supplies to take them out in the morning.
Okay.
So let's go stake out our spot and wait.
Are we going to send people down for reconnaissance?
Maybe.
Not at night though.
Well, don't we want to know what they're doing at night?
I think underground it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's not exactly going to be sunny down there during the day.
I'm confused. Are we going to walk around town
No, we did
See-
that part.
at night? Are we going to walk around town at night to see if any Thuilnu are coming up to see if anything is gone on, or are we just going to stand by the shaman's place?
I had been thinking we were going to stake out the shaman's place.
Me
but,
too.
It kind of depends on how full the caverns are.
Right.
If they're pretty full, then
You should probably stick around the shaman's place.
right.
Got it. Groovy.
So we do the things.
We do the things.
Okay.
I make tiny hut. It's a ritual.
Okay.
And we hang out in tiny hut and take
Why-
turns watching.
Why can't she do tiny hut down closer?
Because there isn't physically room. I mean, she can do it like right at the edge of the staircase that leads down into the root cellar, and there's a tunnel from the root cellar down into the caverns. So,
Okay.
So how about I go and just, for now, look to see how high the water is? Like, if it's come up any further.
okay.
Is there a way to tell from the root cellar area?
Make an just a straight intelligence check.
19.
Yeah. It has come up about another foot.
Okay. And is it something where... Has it come up to the top of the tunnel?
No,
Okay.
not quite.
I guess we'll wait then. Based on how high the water was when we last looked and how high it is now, can we estimate the rate of fill? How long it will take for it to fill the tunnel completely?
Make another intelligence check.
Uh, 20, dirty 20.
It occurs to you that where you're looking in the tunnel is actually higher than the ceilings in the caverns. So you may not be able to use the water level in the tunnel as an effective gauge.
But if it's that full in the tunnel, then shouldn't the caverns be more so?
Maybe. The caverns are very, very, very large spaces. The tunnel is a very constricted space.
Okay. I guess there's no hope for it. We'll just have to head down there. So I go back and talk to the others in the hut, give them the update, and say, would you like me to go ahead and scout?
I will go with you.
Going in pairs sounds prudent.
Not a bad idea.
This time you have to prestidigitation both of us.
Understood.
All right, then we'll head down.
All right. Athgarr asks if you can cast the air bubble on him.
I will. So I will cast it at... Let's see. It says if I cast it at 3rd level or higher, 2 additional globes. So for each slot level above 2nd. So if I cast it at 3rd level, that's 2 for each level above 2nd.
Yeah, so you'd be able to technically do 3.
I can
Okay.
go with you
Third level
guys if
spell.
you need.
Well, anybody who wants to is certainly welcome to do so. Or maybe it's a good idea to have someone who has the air bubble wait so they can come in and rescue us if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
I think we should. I think the 3 of us should stay.
Bo will set up the telepathic bond before you go.
Okay.
Good plan.
And so I'll cast it at 3rd level then. And who wants the 3rd air bubble?
Probably Aribell. So she can, if something bad happens, she can try to go in and heal? No? You don't think healers are...
I would think the other person who can teleport.
So that's you.
Oh, that's a good point. Yes, that's a very good point. I will take it.
Super worried about the scrying on us at this point. That was more for the Jagravanan, right?
As far as you know.
I am going to take unattune my amulet.
Okay.
And I'm going to, because I'm sure we have probably a 30-minute, I'm going to attune my necklace of adaptation.
Okay.
That way I'll be able to breathe. It's 30 minutes, right, to attune?
60.
Short rest.
It's a short rest.
Okay, 60.
That's an hour. But yeah.
All right, I'm going to do that then.
Okay. And Athgarr is going to cast... let's see. Is going to cast... okay, that is not concentration. Okay. Is going to cast invisibility on both he and Gwen.
We keep track of each other then.
We'll be in the telepathic bond.
Okay.
He's also going to, since he can do it as a ritual, cast Freedom of Movement on both of us. And then he's going to cast Infravision on himself, so he can actually see. Oh, dear. Hold, please. He may or may not be going.
What?
He casts Infravision on himself, and immediately all of his hair falls out.
Oh.
Rolled a 1?
Wild Magic Surge.
Sorcerer spell.
Sorcerer spell.
Oh, no. Well, I'm sure it'll grow back eventually.
Well, at least it won't be in my face.
You look very distinguished.
Now you know what you look like in 30 years?
My father still has all of his hair. Let's
Here.
go.
Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Let me
No.
see this.
Don't make him look better. It'll be easier for his smitten
Oh my god.
his smitten friends back at the back at the mansion.
Truth be told, I bet that bitch likes him more because he has no hair.
Wow.
Wasn't it? She just.
She is treating him like a piece of meat, and I don't appreciate it. So I'm going to call her what I see. He's our Athgarr.
Got it.
All right.
Even if he's bald.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, does Gwen already have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So, into the water. It's quite cold. Probably staying in it for an excessive length of time is not going to be healthy.
Okay.
So, Gwen, you're in the lead.
All right. I will head down the tunnel.
All right. At this point, let's see here. You get to the room of, you get through the gelatinous horror room. You get to the room of mists. It is completely filled.
And there's no creatures, though, right?
No.
That's different than last time, correct?
Yes. Last time there was still a space filled with mist above the surface of the water.
Got it.
Make a perception check.
Natural Kraken. All right. So that's a 31.
The previous time that you were in this room, there was a current that was coming from the hallway off to the right, coming through this room and into the other two hallways. There is no longer a current. The water actually seems rather still.
Good to know. I'll keep going.
Okay.
I'm going to swim rather close to the wall.
Okay.
Just both in terms of keeping track of where I am and because it gives me a little more fast maneuverability than, if I need it.
Right.
I can push off.
Yep. But remember, you're under freedom of movement, so you're moving as easily as if you were just walking in a tunnel.
Okay. Good.
So which hallway do you want to head down? Do you want to go into the room where the tunnel is, out to the ocean, or do you want to go into one of the other two?
One of the other two. I'm going to head back where we were last time.
Okay, that's straight across.
Because we know they're there.
Right.
Or at least they were.
Right. You get into the cavern, and where you come in, where the tunnel comes in, everything is dark and everything is still. You're just at the entrance and looking around. You don't really see anything. How far is your dark vision?
Let's see. It is 90 feet.
Okay.
Also, is the water all the way up?
Well, the tunnel comes in at the bottom of the cavern, so...
That's what I'm looking to find out.
Oh, the bottom of the cavern. Okay.
You look up, and your dark vision picks up heat sources floating motionless above you.
But I can't tell if the water has touched the ceiling or not.
Not from down here, no.
Is there a space where there are no heat sources?
Yes.
I will...
Mostly above the structures on the
Okay.
floor.
So I will move to above one of the structures and slowly swim toward the top of the chamber.
Okay. Athgarr is following about 20 feet behind you. You see the shapes getting closer. And as they become sharper in your vision, so does the ceiling. And the water is filling the room to the ceiling. It has filled in all the uneven surfaces of the ceiling. There might be small pockets that might still have a tiny bit of air at the top of them, but for the most part, the Thuilnu bodies that was what you were sensing are floating against the top of the cavern, but they are completely underwater. But
And they're not dead.
they are still registering as heat sources.
Ugh. Darn it.
So I communicate this back.
Is it good
And
that they're not moving? I mean, like, they're doing nothing. It's kind of like they have no job anymore.
I don't know if they have any ability to move. So here's where I tell Athgarr.
Will they starve to death?
Well, that's one question. We don't really know how they eat either.
Dude.
I am going to target the closest Thuilnu to me, and I assume I have my weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to take one of my swords and
Are you telling us this, or are you
I
just
am.
doing this?
no,
Okay.
I said I'm telling Athgarr and all of you this telepathically. I'm gonna stab one.
How many are there in this room?
In the
Lots.
90 feet that she is able to see, in the 90-foot diameter, there's probably a dozen and a half.
Which, if they all come alive, you can't take on your own.
Right, but we've seen no indication that they can swim. And I can move very easily. So if they start to do something, I can get out of here pretty quickly. It's a calculated risk. I mean,
And Athgarr can teleport you guys out if you get overwhelmed. Okay.
so
I'm fine with that. Anybody else?
Yes.
Aribell, not fine with that.
okay.
Fine.
I'm not happy about it either.
I will aim for center mass and attempt to split it open from stem to stern.
All right. Well, I need you to make an attack roll.
Okay.
This is going to be an automatic crit, so you have it with advantage.
Oh, okay. So this is with a short sword. So that's a 25 to hit.
Okay, that will definitely hit. This is going to be crit damage, so
Okay. So,
roll double the die and then add your bonuses.
okay. So that is, I don't have a ton of points in this. 14.
All right. All right, now I need you to roll initiative.
Oh, I get advantage on initiative. Oh, good, because that first roll sucked. So that is a 34.
Yeah, you're going to go first.
Okay. Now, typically, with the short swords, I've got 2 of them. I get 2 attacks per action. So does that mean I get? Is it 3
You get
or is
3 attacks.
Okay.
The second attack, or the offhand attack, you don't get your strength bonus to damage.
Okay.
But that's the only issue.
And then are these still automatic crits or no?
No,
Okay.
no, because it is now aware you are there.
Right. Okay. So the first one is a 26 to hit.
Okay.
The second is a 21 to hit. And the third is a 26.
All 3 of those will hit.
All right. So for damage, it's 9 points for the first, 6 points for the second, and 8 points for the third.
All right. Let's see. Okay, I need you to roll a d20
Mm-hmm.
and add your intelligence and dex bonuses.
Intelligence. 24 is the total.
You lose consciousness.
That's bad.
Well, not by itself.
We can tell, right?
Yes, she just went dark in the link. So Athgarr knows.
Athgarr, you got her?
The next round, let's see here. Get the right die out. Ooh. Nice. Okay. Athgarr sends a trio of magic missiles into the Thuilnu, and it slowly starts to dim in the dark vision. And it no longer appears to be moving.
Athgarr, did it look like it was moving down to her, or was it just attacking from where it was?
A moment.
Got it.
And Gwen, you take 1 point of damage as Athgarr pricks your hand with his dagger, and you wake up.
Oh.
No.
Ow.
It did not move. It simply reacted.
Yes. But they are awake, aware, and capable of attack.
Mm-hmm.
So
They can't move. They just float there.
it seems like they just don't know how to swim, and they can't, seemingly, so far, they haven't adapted to this environment. So they're just sort of floating, bumping up against the ceiling.
The others aren't attacking, though.
No.
Maybe the water is inhibiting their ability to sense us.
Maybe.
That would be nice.
I think we need to try an electrical attack.
Well,
But we have to be out of the water.
yeah. And not from here, but
No,
I mean-
no, not from here.
I assume if we tried to throw something that was fire-based in the water, it would just
Immediately
instantly fizzle.
push, yeah.
Yeah.
They're in the room with the big cavern. That was the one that had the buildings, right?
Right.
All three of them had buildings.
Right.
But there's a bunch of them in that big cavern. Is that where they are where you guys are?
Yeah.
Gwen and Athgarr are in the cavern you didn't fully explore.
Okay.
Because you fully explored the cavern where you carved the tunnel to the ocean. You mostly explored the cavern where you found Safrina. This is the one that you kind of started in, battled vines and the enthralled elves and the horrors, and then you decided to go back out. And so that was as far as you got, is sort of the entrance to this room.
Can you cast spells outside of the hut from within the hut?
Only if they're spells that simply appear where you point them. If they're spells that have to travel from you to the destination, no.
Okay.
I know you can stick your hand out the thing.
Yes.
Okay. So we could put the hut in one of these caverns and maybe attempt to attack them from within the hut like that.
Does the hut prevent against water coming in?
Yeah. Because you don't get rained on when you're in the hut.
Correct. Good point. So like
So
we
we
could
could-
all float to the bottom and...
On top of one of the buildings on the...
Oh, that's smart too.
Maybe tomorrow. After we rest. She can bubble all of us to get down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you won't need it.
Right. But, I mean, or I guess we can teleport and put it down there, but Tasha would need a bubble to cast since it's 11 minutes.
What if, while we are resting overnight, what if we sent an elemental?
Electric elemental? Is there an electric one?
No.
Water?
Air, earth, water, and fire.
Well, that isn't as helpful as I'd hoped it would be.
Right.
Is there anything like that we could send down that would wreak some havoc?
One of
And-
those demons, right? Or whatever?
I mean, they don't really have to do much because they're just floating. Yeah, let's see what he's got. He could use a draconic spirit.
Yeah.
So it could be a chromatic, gem, or metallic spirit. And
Nice.
it could do damage for up to an hour. I mean, if they're just kind of hanging out, it could do a ton of damage in an hour, especially if we chose a lightning damage creature.
Well, unfortunately, with the spirit, you don't get a choice of breath weapon. It's simply a 30-foot cone of destructive energy.
Oh,
But that's okay too, isn't it?
right. It's not fire.
Oh, nope, I take that back. It says a creature takes 2d6 damage of a type this dragon has resistance to. So if we choose a dragon that has lightning resistance, it would be lightning damage.
Right.
There we go.
Well, I
I
can
mean-
certainly do that.
Yeah, give that a shot.
We could just cast it all night and be like,
Well, I don't
Not
think I can
quite.
cast it all night.
And he needs to rest.
true.
I
Let's see. I mean,
can
there-
only cast it 3 times. Nope,
Yes.
4 times.
is it a... So if you cast 4 times and you have to concentrate, it's going to take 4 hours.
Right.
Would you still be able to get a long rest if you
Uh,
start now?
Right? Most likely.
Let's do it.
It's worth a try.
So I'll start swimming back. I'll be careful not to bump into any more Thuilnu.
That would be wise.
I don't like being knocked unconscious.
No one was suggesting that you did.
I asked her if the Thuilnu could see her, or if it just...
It did nothing until I struck it. So it
No,
didn't
I'm just
seem...
saying, like, if it retaliated because it saw you, or you know what I'm saying, or just knew where you were and...
We don't know how
Got
they
it.
sense.
Got it.
They
It
don't
didn't
have
seem...
eyes.
Yeah, it didn't seem to notice I was
Its
there.
face was pointed away. But I don't know if that makes a difference.
Until... It didn't attack me until I attacked it. So when we get back to the hut, I
Right.
look at Athgarr expectantly. Go
And
like this.
he drops the invisibility and begins prestidigitating. You first, then himself.
Thank you. And then I'll go in the hut,
All right.
settle in, get cozy.
Right. Time for me to bring out a wee beastie.
Yes. I assume that he's going to be casting this at his highest level, because why not?
Well, I can do it 4 times, and I'm going to start at the lowest one,
Oh.
just in case something comes out. So
Smart.
I save me big hitters in case we get blowback.
Makes sense. Okay. So you're starting at 5th level.
Yes.
Okay. It is so marked.
And let's see. Oh, okay. So he summons it. It has a faintly blue tint to its spirit form. And immediately nods its head at Bo and turns and vanishes into the water. All right. Well, they told it where to go and what to do when it got there. We'll see how long it takes these things to get rid of it.
You scry on the spirit to see what happens.
Ooh, that's clever.
I can't. I've got to concentrate on
Tasha,
keeping it doing its thing.
can you scry?
I can.
But it's going to be pitch black down there.
That's true.
You might see flashes in the water, but
I don't think scrying's going to help.
Okay.
So rude.
Indeed.
it takes about 25 minutes or so before Bo goes, well, that's one.
Are you able to communicate with it at all?
Nope. I just know when it's defeated. Or when the spell ends.
Which was it?
It was defeated. It should have been going for another half hour or so.
Oh.
So, obviously getting some resistance, but I expect it's doing a bit of damage down there too. Lightning in the water is going to be... painful.
Shocking?
Well, unfortunately, painful to the beastie as well.
Yes.
It's only going to
Yes.
take about half as much damage as the Dom Thuilnu will. But eventually, because it's in the water, it's gonna kind of do itself in as well.
So
So
maybe
that-
it's not them fighting back.
Yeah, that's possible.
We don't know.
That's frustrating.
Well, it's still better than nothing.
That's true.
Yep.
May
So
soften them up a bit.
he casts the second one at 5th level, and it takes about the same amount of time. He casts the one at 6th level. It takes several minutes longer. And then when he casts the one at 7th level, it takes almost 45 minutes.
Oh.
Well, you can head down tomorrow and take a peek and see if there's fewer of them. It would have started from the ones closest to the tunnel.
Right. That's smart.
Excellent.
So,
Well, thank you.
oh, certainly.
Should we should set up a watch.
Yes. I think Bo needs to get some rest, so why
I
don't
agree.
you do that?
I'll do watch. First
And
watch.
I'll do second.
I can take third.
How many do we need?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Right?
3 watches is best. Well, it's 3 or 4, but
Yeah,
Sorry.
with the understanding that, we're going to rest long enough so everybody gets a long rest.
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Just, might be in pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I can get up early if that takes care of another watch.
All right. Well, all right. Now, who's on first watch?
Sorry.
Sorry. All right. If you would please make a perception check.
Nothing.
During watches, you get my shield so that you have advantage on perception.
Oh, brilliant. That's going to negate that natural 1 that I just got.
Oh! Yikes.
Lucky.
Yes. So what was that perception?
Mhm.
17.
To the best of your knowledge, your watch goes by peacefully without seeing anything that disturbs you.
Okay. I hand the shield over to the next person. Thank you.
Who is
Tasha?
Tasha, I think.
With advantage?
Yes.
Okay. 33.
Again, to the best of your knowledge, you don't see anything that disturbs you. Your time goes by peacefully.
Okay.
All right, and then it's Athgarr. And by the time the watches are over, it appears that you have gotten through a peaceful night and everyone has achieved a long rest.
Woohoo!
Okay, long rest. Boom. Pickety boom. Perfect. So now more of us can go down tomorrow, right? And
We can all go, but we may want to leave a few behind just in case.
But we should leave Nikki behind. We should leave Zori behind because she can teleport.
Okay. And
If
someone
we-
should stay with her.
From the hut, we'll need Zori with us. Because she has lightning spells.
I have lightning spells too.
do I have lightning spells?
You
Why
do.
would we-
You have chain lightning. Both of us
Nope.
do.
Hey, I got chain lightning.
But if you use chain lightning, won't you electrocute us?
Yeah.
Not if we're in the hut and she puts her hand out.
Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do that one.
Right? Wasn't that what we were
Yes, that was what we were talking about, but I accidentally rolled the dice. I didn't want the stupid dice roll.
Oh.
That's okay.
I was trying to.
Why would we leave somebody back?
Well, I mean, I guess we
Just
can
to
all
save,
go.
like in case somebody gets into trouble and gets knocked out, there'd be someone that can.
I also have shocking grasp.
But if you think that it seems unlikely that they're going to do that kind of voodoo on us, then that works.
Well, if she's back here, she won't know where we are to teleport to us.
that's a good point.
So
Okay.
no. But she's
Yeah.
with. That gives us 2 teleporters in case
Yeah.
Athgarr will get knocked out.
Yeah, let's just all go.
Well,
That's
if
fine.
we're in the theoretically, if we're in the dome and we're using our hands to like get out the dome, anything they do would not permeate the dome. Is that the right word?
Yeah,
Penetrate.
Penetrate the dome. Right? So technically, since it can't get through, their mental things can't get through to us either, right? Theoretically?
I don't know. That's not proven.
We don't really
It's
know how they're.
It's a theory.
I don't know
Kinda-
if the dome protects against psionic attacks or whatever it is they do, if it even counts as psionic.
The dome is it's hot.
How many air bubbles do we need?
I don't need.
I need one.
Everybody but Aribell.
So
6.
Athgarr, Bo, me,
Okay.
Tasha, you.
I.
5.
Where's my?
Wait, that's 5.
Yeah.
Athgarr, Bo, me, Tasha, you self. That's it.
5?
That's 5, yeah, I think so. So
Okay.
hopefully that'll help you.
Yes. So if I just cast it at 5th level, that should be 5.
How
Well, no,
much-
wait, 4th. So it's
It's
2 additional globes
for every
for each
level
above
above second.
second.
So 4. 4th
Okay,
level gets you
4th
5
level.
bubbles.
Got it.
It does say spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it.
So, but the question is whether it's magical. You said, but or other effects.
Yes. Additionally, question. The spell fails if the area includes a larger creature or more than 9 creatures. Does that mean... Oh, no, because it's Dome of Force springs into existence around and above you.
Mm-hmm.
So it would displace water.
Yes.
Understanding, right? Okay. What were you going to say, Aribell? I kept interrupting.
So, when we come down from the shaman's tower, is there an area or is the water like to that room?
You go down approximately 20 feet until you hit the water. So there's
And how-
20 feet of dry-ish tunnel. It's
And how big is that area, the tunnel? Like how tall?
about 8 foot in diameter.
Will a horse fit in that tunnel?
No.
What the hell? What else can I cast? A pony?
A pony
Horses
would
aren't-
fit.
I was going to say, horses aren't necessarily 8 feet tall.
No,
That's a-
but because of the slope of the tunnel with only 8 foot in diameter, a horse would not be able to move very effectively
Okay. I'll give you
because
that.
they are wide.
So I, before we go into the water, we'll use find steed instead of find greater steed. Because I was looking for something smaller. I will cast Starbolt as a pony, and we can leave her in the tunnel to keep watch.
Okay.
We can telepathically communicate up to a mile.
Okay.
So I will cast him and ask him to do so. And then he'll he's there. There's not a, unless he dies, then he'll just be there until.
Smart.
So that'll
Right.
give us a sentry at the tunnel. Ask him to tell me if anything comes out of the water. Or down the tunnel.
Okay. And Athgarr will cast freedom of movement on everyone. And infravision on himself again. Fortunately, nothing untoward happens to him this time. So, everyone can breathe. Everyone has freedom of movement.
Do we need invisibility?
Um,
We'd had that last time.
Is it still murky down?
it's less murky now that it's no longer in motion.
The chunks have floated to the
So
bottom.
let's see.
Gross.
We need
Or floated to the top, one of the two. Gross.
third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I can make all of us invisible, but
Is that a lot of your spells, though?
I can do it with a spell, but it takes my 7th level slot.
Ooh.
Not worth it.
Okay.
Pass without a trace would be easier. If we have freedom of movement, it should work.
That's smart.
I agree.
What will pass without a trace do? It makes it harder to see us, right? To observe us.
Gives us a bonus to stealth, I think.
Bonus to stealth. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So we're not really sure how they see us.
Each creature
Right.
you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a plus 10 bonus to stealth checks
Ooh,
Okay,
that's
good,
nice.
great.
and can't be tracked except by magical means.
Mm. All right. Well, then I guess we should ask Gwen for some.
Air bubbles.
Yeah,
No,
I already
she did
cast
it.
them.
She already
Okay.
did air bubbles. We were
I did.
doing the pass without trace.
Okay.
Got it. Thanks, dude.
All right. And so who's leading?
I'm happy to do so.
All right.
Standard marching order.
Right. And you head on down into the water. For Gwen and Athgarr, this doesn't look any different than it did yesterday. For everyone else, it's a little eerie because there are fish periodically
Oh,
swimming around down here?
right.
And there is residue on the floor that if you swim too close kicks up into the air.
Gross.
Kicks up into the water. It's your first time seeing the mist-filled cavern just normal. Oh. If there's anybody else who can't see in the dark, they're going to need dark vision.
I got my goggles.
Right. Is that it? It's just you and I?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Basically what you're seeing is...
Can Bo see in the dark?
That's a very good question.
Bo, the halfling, right?
Yeah. No. So let's see. Can Bo cast dark vision? No, Bo
No.
can't.
I didn't think so.
Ooh.
He can cast daylight.
Hmm.
Well, Athgarr can cast it again. Oh. It rolled off a 1.
Whew.
No ill effects. All right. Crossing the formerly mist-filled cavern and entering the cavern beyond, when you first come out of the tunnel and into the cavern, you don't see anything. Gwen, make a perception check.
Ooh. Good roll.
And anybody else who has 90-foot dark vision. If you have
26.
If you have standard 60-foot dark vision, you don't make a perception check at this point.
Right.
Above you, Gwen,
Mm-hmm.
there are no heat sources.
Sounds like the draconic spirit maybe was successful. Shall I swim up to investigate?
Or swim over a little bit more. Like, I'm assuming this is like she could only see 90 feet up, and then like if we go, she'd be able to see another. Okay.
Yes.
So
You
I
are
will.
correct.
Let's go forward.
I will head that way.
Forward, not up.
Within about 30 feet, moving into the cavern, heat sources appear again. But they're the ones that you initially were able to detect last time are not there.
Can I get an estimate of the number of heat sources?
From where you are right now, you're picking up about a dozen.
So I tell the others that.
So it was a dozen where you were in 30 feet before, and a dozen now. Boy, that's
It was about a dozen, between a dozen and a dozen and a half
last time.
last time.
Oof, that's a lot. So it might have killed. For the inference, we can say that it killed that dozen or dozen and a half, and then the next 30 feet in is another dozen, so there could be a zillion in here.
Are we within range if we do your plan with the hut?
Nope.
No.
How?
Lightning bolt has a range of 100 feet.
Okay, and she's 90 feet from the top.
Well, they are further than 60 feet.
Oof, gosh.
But if you, say, are swimming 10 feet off the floor,
which we can't do.
Chain lightning
You
has
can do.
a range of 150 feet.
Okay, I was thinking, but I'm not thinking well enough now. Chain lightning won't affect me because it's coming from me, correct? So I can still stick my hand out at
But
the top of the...
there will be part of you that is out of the hut in the water.
Yep, that's what I just
That's
thought
that's
of.
the zap.
Yeah.
I put just my tiny finger out.
Kind of doesn't matter if it's
I
your
know.
finger or your whole person. That's the way lightning works.
Shoot, we didn't think about that well enough.
I
Well,
don't know what else to do
We
though.
don't have to do lightning damage, though, right? I mean,
There's really not that much that works on these things.
well, we didn't have a lot of time to experiment before.
We know fire works. We know lightning works. That's all we know.
We know physical damage works.
Okay.
So, I mean, Bo could cast more draconic spirits and just let them thrash him.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
true. But
Right?
that's also lightning damage. Just so
No,
we're-
it wouldn't have to be a lightning.
Well, it'd be
One.
fine once we're in the hut.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't think physically they are that tough. I think that they are more strong mentally than physically. So maybe we just need to bash them. So why don't we try one of the draconic spirits that is not electrical?
Well, if we're in the hut, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, the only part that matters is that if it does electrical damage, it's damaging itself.
Aye. But
So-
not as much. That's resistant.
Right, but I'm saying if it just bashes them for an hour, we don't know which
what are the
one-
other options? There's
Well,
could-
we were deciding with lightning, it would be able to do more damage because it's got the water as a conductor.
right.
I mean, the dragon families are chromatic, gem, or metallic. So, for example, there is a force damage one.
Yes.
All right, we'll give that a shot.
There's a radiant damage one.
Ooh,
Oh,
I like that.
that would be smart. Is there really a radiant damage one?
Yes.
Yeah, in gem.
Force, necrotic,
Gem,
psychic,
right.
radiant, and thunder.
Gem dragon. What is this spell that he's got, and why don't I?
Draconic spirit. Summon draconic spirit.
Why don't I have this?
You basically summon a large. It says a large dragon. Not summon,
Do
but
sorcerers get that? Because he's a wizard.
Probably not.
it says wizard. It's a wizard spell. 5th level conjuration.
Oh, jerk. I mean, awesome.
Yep. Oh, druids can cast it as well.
We don't have one of those.
Our druid's in the tower with PTSD.
Yep.
It says it obeys verbal commands. I wonder if we could include it within the telepathic bond.
Nope.
No?
Oh, actually.
It says the creature's an ally. Shares your niche.
Okay, good. I worried for a minute that the bond was concentration, but it's not.
So what do you want to do? Do we want to hide in the hut and use lightning, or do we want to try force or radiant?
I say try radiant.
Why not?
All right.
I mean, that might be really cool. Everything in the room in one fell swoop.
And so Bo casts,
What level?
starting at 5th again.
Okay.
Cast Summon Draconic Spirit. This one comes through with a sort of yellowish tint. And Bo says, "There's things floating at the top of the cavern. Go destroy them." The dragon just, spirit nods and it floats up. And
Does the dragon need a bubble?
no, it's a spirit.
Just checking.
And you begin to see flashes of golden light. Bright enough that it actually is visible through 70 feet of water. So for those of you with normal dark vision, all you see are the occasional flashes. And
I take off my goggles. What do I see?
regular flashes.
Okay.
Because without the goggles, it's just pitch black.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen, periodically, over the next several minutes, heat sources begin to slowly dim.
I tell the others, I think it's working. There are heat sources that are losing their heat.
That's what happened when I killed the one yesterday. It
They're
seems
going cold.
the water chills them quickly when they're dead.
Well, it is cold.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, how long do the bubbles last?
I think they last for 24 hours.
Oh, okay. All right.
I will verify.
But we're also in the...
Yes, you are in cold water, and it is beginning to become very uncomfortable.
Not if we're in the bubble.
We're
I'm
not in the
hut.
bubble. No one cast the bubble yet.
Oh, I cast the hut.
Oh,
Yes,
All right.
she did.
no. There was
No,
talk
no,
about
I,
it, but...
I do it now.
Okay.
I cast the hut.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, where do you cast it?
Where
are we right now?
We're gonna go to within so when Gwen, she swam in 30 feet, she swam in another 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably should we have backed off about 5 feet and then looked for a building.
There is a large circular building back about 10 more feet.
Okay.
So then we
It's
could
a
probably
very,
go up.
very shallow point on the top of the building.
Oh.
But you can still cast it. You'll just be on a slightly slanted surface.
Got it.
Here's a question, gang.
Mm-hmm.
If there were Thuilnu inside the building, when the water came in, would they still be inside the building, or would they
Yes.
have been washed out?
No,
No, they'd still be in the building.
is my guess.
So does that mean we need to...
Clear all the buildings?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know.
Would a dragon spirit that uses force be able to take out the buildings?
Or an earth elemental go around and smash them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or the doors, at least.
Mm-hmm. Well, the doors were just those
Vines.
vines.
Oh, right.
They weren't real doors.
Yeah, maybe an earth elemental.
Would the earth elemental turn into mud?
So many questions.
Oh, but yeah, I guess it.
No, it's a mud elemental. Like a blob. Should I go check and see if there are Thuilnu in the buildings, or if they got washed out? Because the water would have come streaming in through the doors. Those vines would not have kept water out.
Is this the room that we cleared most of those?
No,
This
this is the
did
room
not.
you cleared none of the buildings. This is the cavern you really didn't explore.
Oh, because this is the one that had Safrina in it, right?
Right. Vines.
This is the one that had vines in it. And he was at the very front of the cavern, and that's as far as you went.
We grabbed him and went.
Yep.
So I will leave the tiny hut.
You need
And
somebody to come with you?
sure.
Just
I mean,
in
I'm
case.
not going far.
Right, but in case they sense you and knock you out,
Right.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
And we built the hut on top of a building. So I'm just going to look in the building beneath us. Because if they're bobbing down there, that's just not good.
Wait, but she would have seen the heat signatures.
No.
Not through the building.
Right, yeah, okay, great.
But I can just look through the doorway.
Mhm.
So that's what I do.
All right. Make a perception check.
Perception. 18.
There are no Thuilnu.
None?
None. There are several piles of chunks of flesh.
Yum. I will swim to the next building. They're not that far apart, right?
Right.
So I'll just swim to the next one and do the same.
Trying to see if there's a way I can turn off the... Nope, that didn't do it. There we go. Now you can see the layout of everything. You are currently on top of this building.
I don't think I have access to that picture. Hold on. Because the last time I tried, it said I don't have a token in that room. I'm like, oh no.
Right. I just turned off everything that blocks vision, so you should be able to see it. Because it showed up on the monitor.
Excellent.
So,
Okay. So, which one are we again?
We're
Okay.
on the most top. Oh,
The round one.
The big round one. That's where you're at.
There we are. That's
So
fine.
I will swim west toward the smaller round one
Okay.
and look in the doorway.
Same thing.
I will swim south. I'm just going to go counterclockwise and look in each building.
It takes about 10 minutes to do the full circuit and look. There are no Thuilnu within any of the structures.
Okay,
And
good.
at this point, Bo lets you know that his dragon spirit made it the entire time and has been unsummoned because it reached the duration of the spell.
Okay, and so while I'm outside of the hut, I guess I'll swim up to the point where I can see if there are any remaining heat signatures.
There are more in the southern half of the cavern. As let's just say, for sake of argument, that you were checking as you
Yeah.
checked all the buildings. There are probably about a score left.
Okay, so I'll let the others know that.
A score is 50?
20.
20? Okay.
So I'll ask Bo to do it again. That seemed pretty effective. It lasted the full hour, and that's more opportunity to do damage.
Right. All right. He summons another of the same spirit, gives it the same instructions, and it nods and drifts off toward another clump.
Well, this seems to be working pretty well. They don't seem to be getting away. Should we...
And I just want to remember the gem dragon is the radiant, right?
Correct.
Okay, right.
Do we want to continue to stay in the tiny hut?
We kind of need to because it's so cold.
Right. What I'm saying is we could also cast the mansion and do the same thing that we're doing.
Can we?
Why wouldn't we?
I don't know logistics of that.
I
'Cause
think
it's-
it'll work.
We just need to design it with a with a air pressure chamber so that all the water doesn't go in. I guess it's got the magical doorway. Will the water go in as we do?
You know, that's a really good question.
We just need to make it with a mud room so that there's only a certain amount of water so that the unseen servants don't have to spend the whole night mopping.
The
So,
entrance
Tasha?
shimmers faintly and is 5 feet wide and 10 foot tall.
Yes.
So I don't know how that.
Would you be able to cast the mansion and just redesign it only enough that you add a entry hallway?
Jeff, is that what you're looking up? Are you looking up
I am.
specifics?
I am.
I can cast the mansion again because I've got an 8th level spell. So I can cast it again.
Well, Athgarr could too.
Right. You're waiting to see what Jeff says.
There is no real consensus on this that I can find quickly. So I'm going to say that as the only things allowed in the mansion are the things cast as part of the spell, water wouldn't be allowed in the mansion. And therefore you could open the door and enter without letting any of the water in.
Cool. I mean, even if we did let water in, as long as we had another set of doors, it would only be as much water as would be in that hallway.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be a mess, but it would be doable.
Yeah.
So I cast a second mansion.
Okay. Where do you cast it?
Where do you guys want me to cast it?
Wait, if she casts it, then the one that they're all in is going to
Nope.
kick them out.
No, I can cast it twice.
Okay.
I have an 8th level spell slot, so I'll just cast a second spell.
Do we want to cast it in this chamber, or do we want to move into the next?
Let's move into the next one.
Okay.
So that's what we do. We can
Okay.
always swim back and check to see if this one is still containing life forms,
Right.
heat signatures.
Yep. All right. Well, where in the next chamber do you want to put the door?
Where's the second chamber?
Down to the right.
Can you
Do you want to do it just inside the doorway or the tunnel opening?
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
that. Okay, so
All right.
I cast it.
All right. Tasha casts the mansion, and the assembled group step out of the water into warmth and dry entry chambers, and that's where we're going to stop.
Ah,
Perfect spot.
Alrighty. Okay.
good.
So we will pick back up right here next time.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Thank you for watching. We appreciate your attention, always. And please join us again next week, and let us welcome you once again back to the lands of Aecathan.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.